It's such an interesting way to look at this building, how it has been helpful to people, helped them live, and on the other hand, has contributed to the demise of some of their cultures.
I came to the Camsell because it offered a very different experience. It was a federal government hospital. It moved to an entirely different rhythm because of the kind of patients that we received. So we had patients down from trap lines up north, all over the place, and you couldn't move people in and out quickly, depending on how they could access, whether it be through ice roads, rivers, whatever. We had to work with the rhythm of their lives, which impacted the rhythm of how we worked with them.
This is hard to comprehend sometimes when you think back. By today's standards, being a patient for so long. Yeah. And when I left finally, I got to Greward, Alberta. Well, I missed the old Camsell. I thought this was the home I knew. Yeah, that's the way that was.
Now tomorrow, when this film is developed, I will show you a picture of your heart and lungs.
The Indian hospital system was set up by the federal government after World War II, and it was a separate hospital system only for Indigenous patients. And hospitals like the Camsell were established across the country, and I think there were approximately 22 of these hospitals, and they were run by the federal government.
Their sons and daughters of today face new enemies. One of them is a cruel disease, tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis was one of the primary reasons for this kind of institutionalization of the hospital system for Indigenous peoples.
There were efforts, much like residential schools, to create segregated systems, to have isolation. And when I think about the number of illnesses that spread, that piece of the history I think is very dark. I've also talked to a lot of people that said, at least when there was a hospital that said the word Indian on it, we knew that we were welcome there. So it's interesting to me how those two sides, segregation but feeling a sense of belonging, how they can play out for different people in different ways.